Hey, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to watch this video. My name is Ernie Brown. I'm one of the coaches at Wealth at Wall Street and have had the ability to be implementing this infinite banking concept and using it to find investments passive in nature to create cash flow for my family. And now have the ability to help our community members do that same thing. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you are an investor and looking for better ways to control the cash that you're using to do those things. And I want to share with you in just a couple minutes a few key things about this infinite banking concept. And so ultimately, how this fits, how this works, is that this can become a foundation to better control the cash and cash flow that's happening in your investments. Because the reality is, to do any deal, you're having to get cash from somewhere, right? Maybe you've been building up savings accounts. I talk to people all the time who have lots of money in high yield savings accounts, or people who are leveraging all their home's equity to do deals and lines of credit and things like this. Well, what this is a way to build into your system of cash flow management a vehicle of specially designed whole life insurance and applying a simple thought process to help better increase the rate of return of that money, the control, the protection, and the future benefits of that cash. And so it becomes a building block for those things. And ultimately, what this allows us to do is get cash protected and secured inside insurance contracts, and then be able to leverage this by taking loans from the insurance companies to create ultimately cash doing a few things at one time, using leverage of life insurance policies to get cash to do that, creating better return on the cash sitting and the same return in your investments. So ultimately, this is not an investment tool. This is not adding secret sauce to your investments, but what this is a firm foundation. This is also not a new strategy, which I think a lot of people would tend to think. No, this is actually a very old product, whole life insurance, and actually a very common process that's been used for nearly 100 years, but put down very strategically as a way to control all of our finances in the early 80s by a man named Nelson Nash. So this is not new, and this is not the investment. And so I just want to share with you the process of, for the investor, how this works. And this is how it works for me, and would share perspective of the overall process. And so what we do is we take the dollars that we're saving to put into a deal, taking this cash flow, and we put it and apply the infinite banking concept to it. And we put it into this whole life insurance policy. Allows us to take loans, loans against this, and then go buy the assets that creates cash flow. So we take dollars here and we put it into the investments. That's what we're doing anyways, but we put it through this process first. So we take cash, we put it here, we deploy this cash, and we create cash flow. So that's a very simple process, and we just create a better storage place for this cash. And so just practically, I want to give you an example of how this has worked, right? Not just theory, but reality is that most likely we get dollars from working really hard for it. And I want to share with you Matt, who we've helped, who is doing this, is actually a business owner himself, but very active in this business. And he was creating a great income for his family. But his goal was not to spend all of this great income, but actually make this get to work. He had been putting dollars into 401ks, right, for business owners, SEPs, into retirement plans. He had been investing in the stock market. And he had also been paying cash for everything else, right? All the things that we're taught to do. His goal evolved to where he wanted to be investing to create cash flow immediately. And doing this, he learned about the process of infinite banking. And so he added this as a key piece to his strategy. And what he did is he had been saving up money here. And so he took $50,000 and made an immediate injection, an injection of cash or a lump sum of cash. He transitioned that savings into an insurance policy. And then we took a safe savings rate for him of $3,000 a month and started making contributions to the insurance contract, building and doing that in a way so that it doesn't primarily create death benefit, even though it does create a lot of death benefit, but creating access to cash. And we call that cash value. So here's what he then went and took that to do. As he was building up cash, he realized, hey, instead of investing in the stock market, he could invest in rental real estate. And so he did that, and his first deal created for him about $400 a month of cash flow. Now, that was working for a while, but then he realized, hey, instead of just doing real estate, I could actually start a land business, something that we talk about on the Wealth Without Wall Street podcast, and that we do trainings on exactly how this business can work. And so he started implementing this business for the purpose of it becoming passive. So he started taking his, again, more blood, sweat, and tears, more active to build this business to turn into passive cash flow. And in just a few years, he was able to create $10,000 a month of passive cash flow in that business. Now, what this did was it created financial freedom for him, right? It created more passive income than his monthly expenses. And he was building this foundation in. Now, what that did is, as he started telling his friends and family what he was doing, is his family got really interested in this. And they started implementing some of these same things. They're doing all these common things, which I wonder if you have or continue to do this as well, implementing a better foundation for this cash, and has started pursuing their own investments to create immediate income. And so that created some family effects. Now, ultimately, these investments are great, but I doubt, speaking for Matt here, that he wants to do this forever. And so the benefit of adding this foundation is, I told you, he's actually taking loans from the insurance policy to do these things. And so the insurance policy, this cash value, is continuing to grow. And ultimately, for his family, at some point, he may stop doing these investments. Maybe he won't, we'll see. But he'll have this pool of cash to create a future income stream to his family for. And so just for him, this is what we've put in place, the process. And if you're listening to this and you're saying, well, I don't have this, I'm making good income. So if you're making over $75,000 a year and your goal is to not have to do that forever, and you want to create passive income, and you want to see how we put this together in your world like we have for Matt, then I want you to set a phone call with the link below. And I want to hear a little bit about those goals. I want to learn about your situation, and we can begin to educate and implement this into your world. I look forward to talking to you. Thanks for watching this. Have a great day.